crafty friends. I am really excited to get to talk to you about this piece finally. So as I was making my Live Your Story piece for the Tim Holtz 2022 Idea-ology Release, I videotaped myself. And so I was videotaping myself and I had absolutely no idea what it was going to end up being. So I'm kind of like future Tammy talking to you right now, because in a minute I'm going to show you those recordings and of me actually making it and not knowing how it was going to turn out. So I'm going to show that to you in a minute. I used quite a bit of the new Idea-ology products, but I did also throw in some things from my stash just for the fun of it. So if you end up deciding that you want to make something like this, you might have to go back a little ways into your stash and pull a few things out. And you know, I call you my crafty friends for a reason. I know that if you're watching this video, that more than likely you probably have some things from past years. But I also know that if you don't have the exact same thing, time and again, I have seen your resourcefulness in just pulling what you do have to be able to tell your own story with the products that you have. And I have every confidence in you that if you want to make something like this, that if you don't have the exact same thing, that you will come up with something just absolutely wonderful with the products that you have in your stash. So let's not put it off any longer, and let's watch me as I go through the process of taking bits and pieces from the new release and ending up with this. And then at the end, we'll wrap up and I will talk through what the finished piece ended up looking like. Hey friends, so this is a little bit different way for me to make a tutorial. So you are probably seeing this in the middle of one of my tutorials that I start with the finished product. So I decided to do a little bit of videotaping as I am making this piece. So I actually don't know what it ended up looking like yet because I haven't made it. So and forgive me because during this segment, I don't know the names of everything yet because I don't have a catalog. So there is this drawer, this isn't a divided drawer because that's the name of another piece of vignettes. But anyway, there's this divided box that is new to the line this year, and it's quite thick compared to the other vignette boxes. So here's the large vignette box. You can see it's actually much wider. Not quite as long, but it is much deeper than the vignette boxes. And then I took a set of vignette boxes and I didn't use the smallest one and I didn't use the largest one this time. I used the two middle sizes. And what I kind of started thinking about when I was looking at this was I thought, well, if I put it up this way, that it kind of could be like a bookcase or something that would hold things like shelves. And then I was looking through the new Ephemera pack, and in the Ephemera pack, like we had in the Halloween pack, were all of these little book covers. So I just got to work. Look how wonderful these are. I just love them. So on this side of the green one, do you see that little butterfly? And then this lovely floral. And these were actually book covers that Tim and Paula found, and then they just would shrink them down. So you get two of each. So there's two floral, two green, and then this nice big thick one that looks like it could have been a dictionary or something. Then we have some kind of smaller, these look like maybe they were, I don't know, some kind of journal. And this one is a favorite of Tim's. This is a journal cover that he has. So you get two of each. And I have already done a tutorial on how I do these. I did it on my Instagram. But basically, I just take old book pages and I cut them up the same width and height as the book cover. And then I just stack them in and I just glue them all on the inside of the spine and I just stick them in there. So I have this old dictionary and I just cut up the pages and stick those in there to make the book cover. So I will try and put a little bit more description of how to make those maybe after this. Right now I'm just kind of talking through how I came up with this. So then I thought, well, if I'm doing this, what other things do we have? And we had these words, kind of strips, these metal word strips. And this one said, live your story. And I thought, okay, so that kind of goes with books, story. And then I thought, okay, well, so what would, kind of living your story look like? And so I decided if this is going to be a bookshelf, that I needed something that I wanted it to sit on. And that's where these came in. And I decided to make books out of them. And so this will be the base. And then this is going to go on top. And then I will have my story on this side. And then I'm even going to have a little bit of a story on the back side, so that you can see it all the way around. And then there's actually room, if I would like, I can drill, with my Dremel, I can drill a hole through here. And before I attach this one, I can drill a hole through here and then into this. And I can light this up if I want to have some sort of light in it, candles or whatever it is that I might want to have in there that lights up with the tiny lights. Now, to continue to tell my story, I looked for a few other things in the ephemera pack, and there may be some more things I'm still going to pull out. But I pulled out a passport because a passport might tell your story. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not yet. I pulled out this standard postage stamp catalog piece. This is a nice big piece, but I scored it and I folded it. And then I added some of my book pages so that if I want, I can attach this here as kind of just a little, to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I could put something on there, whether it be, the passport and then a photo or a couple of photos. So I could do something, on there. Or a couple of pieces of ephemera. Thought those were cute. So there are, you have options. On this side, I'm not only going to be putting books, but I'm also going to be putting some things that show people's lives. So smaller pieces of ephemera. And I also thought I would cut some of these to be a little bit smaller. You might have noticed that I showed one of these pictures. This is a new SKU this year, which are photographs of the people that are often used in our paper dolls. And so I thought, it might be fun for me to go through here and just see what I have and maybe frame small portions of this that I could put in as part of telling, a story or, something like that. Maybe, it might be a very close cropped photo of a couple that I would put in there. I haven't gone through these completely, but you can just see they're just some interesting, things that you could take just little portions out of and maybe stick that in here to tell whatever story it is that you want to tell. So I'm going to be going through these and maybe using those as well. That was very long-winded, but I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of sometimes where our projects begin before we get there, because I can't go back to this spot. And so I thought it might be fun, while I'm here, to just kind of share with you how a project gets started and then allow you to see where it ends up. For this next step, what I decided to do was, instead of cover this on the sides and the back with backdrops papers, which is what I was going to do, I was looking through the stack of photos, and again, I don't know what these are called yet, but these snapshot photos. And so I went through and I pulled some out, and I thought what I would try and do is trim them and cover the outside of the box with bits of the photos. So like I'll have this guy and his part of his plane on this side, and then I'm going to have part of this house kind of go this way, and these gentlemen in their car, and then possibly maybe a little bit of these gentlemen on the side. And then on the back, I thought I could fit these what kind of look like maybe college students or something here. And then these people on the bikes here, because then I don't need the top of that. I can crop the top off. And then it would be covered, because I'm going to make this live your story, right? Like we talked about the last time. And so this is a lot about people living their story. And then I think I may just use some distress ink to kind of make them look sepia, and all the same kind of, maybe a tan sepia color, like a vintage photo color. I think that's what I'm going to do for the outside. So that's where I'm going next. We'll see how it turns out.